So you're a killer?
Sir, yes, sir!
Let me see your war face.
Sir!
You got a war face? Ah! That's a war face. Now let me see your war face.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Basic Billiards. I am SithLordFelix with the great 8-Ball Sensei, Brian at FX Billiards. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Just got out of a YouTube channel suspension.
Really?
If you can believe that. Yeah, I was down for a week. I couldn't post shorts, couldn't post couldn't post anything. Yeah, and that's why I had to wait to release the latest Basic Billiards, and it was for a dumb reason. Got to keep it real. They had me down for they had I had my podcast. I was finally going to do it live for the first time, and sure enough, they got me for like 1 second into the podcast, they dinged me for like spam or misleading. It's like some really weird. That's really weird. Pretty crazy, huh?
Okay, so it's not. What did they say was misleading? I don't understand. Did you have?
I appealed it, right? Because I'm like, I don't understand what's misleading about it. It's my podcast, and we were doing podcast stuff. It's not like you clicked on it and it was a basketball game or you know what I mean, or me selling bracelets, or it was a podcast. So what was misleading about it? And we were doing like trailer reviews, like the non-pool stuff. But yeah, nothing crazy. So and then when I appealed it, they rejected it. They're like, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, yo, how is this possible?
I know you use a lot of movie clips and stuff like that. So if I had to guess, I would think that it was some copyright thing.
Yeah, so would I. But it's a trailer review, fair use. Like that's one, and two, like I've been able to do it tons of times. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like it's as long as I'm doing a trailer.
Yeah.
If I'm doing something like a watch along, obviously that's I keep the before and after. I use zero footage of that, except maybe again trailer footage. That's it. But no, I would have been dinged for copyright, but it didn't say that. It said spam or misleading. And so, they put me down for a week. I tried to fight it on Twitter, nothing. Try to repeal it, nothing.
Bring down your music for a second.
Oh, understood. Yeah, a little too long.
Well,
right, let's see.
I'm not going to say who it was, but a very well-known YouTuber. And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have a problem with me talking about this. I just don't mention his channel. For a very well-known YouTuber, got a copyright notice by email, and I'm telling the story so you and your viewers who might be interested in being YouTubers don't fall for this. So a guy that positions himself as being brilliant got a email that was situated as if it was from Google, telling him that he had copyright infringement. And he clicks on the link to respond to it, and his channel got hacked.
Oh.
So yeah, you got to be real careful, guys. If you get an email that says it's from Google, the first thing I do when I get an email, I get emails every single day. I get an email every day, sometimes 5 times a day. I get emails from people that want to advertise on my channel or want to sponsor me or whatever. And the very first thing that I do is I check. Well, probably 80% of them I delete because I'm not interested in promoting somebody's video game on my channel. It just doesn't. But But the first thing I do if I have any interest in even talking to them is click on their email address and see where they're actually located. Because if I get a .cv or anything like that, that it's a hoax. But yeah, this guy's channel, he lost his channel for a while, and he's got a gazillion subscribers. Yeah, so
man.
And this is somebody that really should know better. Like I said, he positions himself as being brilliant, so he really should know better. But and he did a whole video about it, which I thought was interesting. So yeah, be careful out there. There's some very bright people doing. You gotta
Yeah.
figure that, you gotta figure that the guy that knows how to hack a YouTube channel is smart enough to trick people into, you know, giving things up. So yeah, just be careful.
I'll tell this story in the future so we can jump into pool. But there was one time, like years ago, online, some Nigerian prince emailed me, and but I'm gonna show it was an interesting story. It ended pretty not as good as you would hope, but we'll talk about that some other time. All right, so
And you're not a 45-year-old white woman from Kansas, because I'm sure that's the primary
that's the primary target.
I don't want to stay on this subject either, but this is a funny story. I had a friend that told me that her she said, yeah, my girlfriend is headed over to Africa. I said, to Africa? She said, yeah. She said she met this guy and he's like a prince or something in Nigeria. I said, hold on. So I never met your girlfriend. Here is who she is. She's 45 years old. She's a white woman who's never been married before.
Man.
And occasionally goes on dates, but doesn't really have any relationship. She's like, do you know her? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
A lot of us know her.
Telling her from Nigeria.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could use that formula to figure out how much the ransom is going to be when they get word of where she's at.
Well, on this subject, and I again, I want to get off this because we could do a whole video about this. But I have some very good friends from Nigeria who are just outstanding people. I used to play basketball with a bunch of guys, the nicest guys on the planet. But there is so much fraud coming from Nigeria that in banking, there is a term called Nigerian traits. And it's a way of identifying some scams that are coming out of Nigeria. There's a lot of stuff. It's not as bad today as it used to be because now it's spread to India and a lot of other places. But yeah, back in the day, there was a thing called Nigerian traits, and very racist term because it didn't just mean Nigerians. It meant anybody that was trying to scam the bank with these certain moves.
Yeah.
But they call it Nigerian traits, which is kind of
because of that Nigerian prince, man. I'm telling you, it ruined it for everybody.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get into pool ASAP.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. So before we started, I briefly mentioned that today there's like a little in-house tournament at my trailer park, my community, how we like to refer to it here. I'm gonna be playing for a stick, so
okay.
So that's one, and apparently it's about almost 16 deep, so it's gonna be quite a long day today on two tables.
Well, you're probably a favorite. I know what's going on there. I know you win a lot there, so I expect that you're going to take it. So.
I hope so. I will be recording it, so there's that to look forward to. I'll try to release the games as they go, and if I lose, whatever, I'll still record the championship game, and we'll get some closure on that. But that's an awesome little series to run, and actually, out of most of my content, that one tends to do pretty good because there's other people besides my fat ass on the screen. There's a little bit more variety. So we got that.
Best of luck. Knock 'em dead.
Oh yeah. I'll definitely keep you posted throughout the day, and also as far as my APA, I won again this Wednesday, and did a 1-3 zip, or 2 games to 0, so I got the 3 points rather. And that very good, very confident win. I think you would have liked. I actually did some intentional safeties that worked out somewhat to what I wanted. You know what I mean? And like not as much safety failures as usual. Because when I first playing them, it's like everything that Murphy's Law, everything that could go wrong went wrong with my safety play.
it's not talked about and it's not talked about enough, but it can be very difficult in 8 ball, depending on the time of the point in the game, to play good safeties. So I don't know if I may have told the story last time we were on, but I played for 5 hours with two of my cousins one night. So I was probably, I'm just guessing, about 50-3. So they're just, the odds of them beating me, like I said, about 50-3.
50 to
But
3.
but yeah, so I'm taking every game all night. I lost 3 times, and I still remember those 3 games. They were times when I played bad safety, and
Wow.
yeah, I should call them lazy safeties, because when you win 50 games in a row, you're not expecting the guy to run out. So
Yeah.
you don't play the best.
Yeah.
But they're both like APA 4s, so they
Right, APA 4 to run out. That's kind of a tall order, Maybe if there's 6
Yeah.
on the table.
And we're playing on my 9-foot table with tight pockets. They were really out of their element, but yeah. But they have the ability to run out. I mean, they've been playing for 20, 30 years. They're what I call forever 4s.
Forever force. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid I'm going to be. I was talking about that with the other with my teammates, and yeah, it's like there's like you want to stay low in a certain degree because it's the handicap is in your favor, but I kind of don't want that, and I'm afraid of
Yeah.
careful what you wish for syndrome, because I want to make it to like 5 or 6, maybe for the bragging rights, and but once I get there, to stay at the top is like it's pretty crazy, especially when they throw a level 2 at you or a level 3,
Yeah. Well, my team, for the most part, I never. Well, I can tell you absolutely, and it was 15 plus years ago. But nobody sandbagged on my. Everybody wanted to move up, and I mean, I came in when pretty much straight to 7. The algorithm caught up with me pretty quick. But yeah, there were a lot of my guys were 4s forever, and but they were all trying to win. They were legitimately trying to win. They just don't practice. But they all have lives also.
Yeah. Yeah, it's how it is, man.
Yeah, I tell people all the time. They're like, "Oh, I want to shoot like you, Brian." I'm like, "No, you don't." Because when you were doing your homework, I was playing pool. When you was, or as my wife puts it, when they were spending time with their family, you were playing pool. So
intense, right?
But yeah, you got to make a lot of sacrifices to play well. So I tease people, you're a forever 4, but they've got other things to do than to play pool. Pool is my job. So I get to, if I'm not playing pool, I'm goofing off.
Right. Right.
So yeah, if I'm not playing or talking about it or teaching it or practicing it, I'm goofing off. So yeah, there's a big difference. So all right. So you got clips for us?
Ooh, do I got clips? Yeah. So I try to keep a lot of errors in this.
Okay.
Just again for your judgment. I will say off the bat, I really feel great about my aim, about my shot, but a lot of stupid mistakes that you can hopefully help me avoid here. So let me see. Let me get that going here. All right, can you see the screen?
I see the screen.
All right, cool. Let me switch it so that we are still both on here. Boom. Okay. All right, let's get the show on the road. All right, so let's start with the first one. This I think you'll be kind of happy with. You know what you're going to bring up during this clip.
These are good shots. Kind of looks like the semicircle drill.
Yep. But here's where I mess up.
Why?
We'll get into that later. I should have stayed in the semicircle drill.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you cut off. I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I was. Yeah, that's.
I should have stayed in the semicircle mode, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah, it was such a poor decision. I'll,
If
I'll I'll
you,
tell you what my mentality was, right? So
uh,
when I was at no, yeah, well, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to hit it. I wanted to get the ball around here so I could have a shot in the side pocket. That was
right.
my thinking.
So
But
yeah, but you
this
you
it
could
wasn't.
also
I guess
do a
is how it
stop
kind of
shot
played out.
here and play it
And
in
it
the corner.
played the corner. Yeah, no, of course, 1,000,000%, and it's the better shot, obviously, than to be
Yeah,
left with this garbage that ended up costing me the shot.
yeah. Tip
You
of the
know,
day: the least amount of cue ball movement you can do, the better.
huh? Man, I'm gonna keep that in mind, especially today, because it's funny. It's actually funny you said that because I looked at this play repeatedly, the one we just watched, and that's that was kind of my takeaway. It's like, man, I need to kind of keep the cue ball as like get it moving as little as possible. Once it hits the object ball,
Yeah.
and that might help me a lot more. So I say we'll see. I guess it depends on the situation, of course.
Well,
If I had to get
one
down
of the
table.
problems, amateur players have today is if you watch pool, you watch tournaments and stuff like that. First of all, most people are watching 9-ball. Even 8-ball players, they're watching 9-ball. They watch Shane playing 9-ball or whoever,
Yeah,
because that's what's on. There's a
yeah,
lot for every 8-ball match on there. There's 15 or 20 9-ball matches. And in 9-ball, we move the ball around a lot, so people see that and think it's the norm, where you're going off of multiple rails. And I show it a lot on my channel because it's my style to play like wide open and moving the ball around off of multiple rails and stuff like that. But
yeah.
in 8-ball, if you can shoot a series, I tell people all the time, you're going to find a pattern that you have a series of 2 and 3 foot shots is what you should be looking for. Because if you're moving the ball around a lot in 8-ball off of multiple rails, you're probably doing something wrong, and at some point. So, but yeah, I understand why people end up, I'll go forward and bounce off this rail, or I'll draw back to this, or whatever, because they see it so often. But if you watch Shane or whoever, Federer, whoever play 8-ball, they're very short, deliberate shots, 4 feet, stop shot, draw shot, follow shot, out, all little, 3 and 4 foot shots. So anyway,
Yeah, no, totally. And it's funny because this one again, like by the beginning, of course, I knew you were going to mention the semicircle drill because even I thought of the semicircle drill going into this run,
right.
into this mini run. So I'm like, okay, and it's and my one of my, I still suck at the drill. Like if if I try to do the drill, I cannot complete it, not once. I'm still
Right.
bad with it. But this was the closest I got to it, and I acted again. If I would have just stayed with it. Yeah, I was like, I don't know, but yeah, it was such a stupid decision. But
Yeah.
all right,
And
let's see what's
yeah. And good for you that you recognized that this is the semicircle drill, because it's not set up like the drill, but they are semicircle drill shots. So
yeah, it's that same exercise or that same, control that you have to have on that, I think the stun shot, I guess, right?
yeah. Well, the short draw shot.
Short draw.
Yeah. That's a nice combo. You stayed on the original ball. Good idea getting rid of these balls that are on the rail. We're gonna see another combination shot.
Ooh, will we?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm doing my Darth Maul stalk.
Good.
Or like that Lawrence Taylor, if I know you're from Philly, you must love the Giants. Lawrence Taylor would do that.
Yeah. I think it's funny that you had to look for your chalk.
Yeah, I didn't bring my glove or my chalk. That's like some makeshift thing I tried to put around my hand. I ended up taking off.
Yeah, but you were 3 shots in.
Yeah.
I did a lesson the other day where I'm watching the guy, and I never tell people, "Hey, you haven't chalked up in 4 shots." But the guy, he didn't chalk up for 4 shots, and then he literally moved the chalk out of his
Out of the
way
shot.
to get down on the shot. I'm like, dude, come on now. I thought he was just messing with me at that point. I'm like, did you just move the chalk out of the way? And so you just have these 2 balls, right?
Yeah, I'm overthinking what I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Well,
Again,
it's not a
overthinking it,
layup
but
here. It's not a layup. I'm trying to come
it's a weird reach.
between the 4 and the 8, I think. But
Now, do you hear what happened there?
well, it sounded like it looked like you miscued.
I miscue 100% miscue. So it's
This
funny
is
you brought
why-
up the chalk. And
Yeah.
it was like I
But see,
couldn't have
that's
timed
not
it
a
perfect
chalk.
myself. And a meat gamer raging. Don't
Yeah,
ever
that's
hit
not a chalk miscue. That's a reach. I didn't use the bridge shot. You should have had the bridge
Look at
in
how
your
butthurt
hand.
I am. Oh my god, I'm so mad.
Go back.
Hold
Go
on.
back.
I walk right in front of the camera and I make this disgusting face. All right. Back even worse. Look.
This is
I
the
gotta find. I'm
problem
gonna
here.
find a thumbnail for this. Shame on me.
Yeah, that's the problem there is that you've got.
Should I bring it back
2
again?
No, you're okay. But you had a 2-foot long bridge
Okay.
because you should have been using the extension, the bridge, the mechanical bridge here, or at least shot it left-handed. But yeah, that's why you miscued. Your bridge is that long. People think that, well, first off, it just cracks me up that people won't use the mechanical bridge like it's the bitch stick or it's some
hate
kind
it.
of crutch.
Yeah, no, I hate.
The best in the
I gotta walk
world.
across the room. Look how pissed I am.
Yeah, and yet the best in the world use it all the time. But
All the time.
it's funny how people won't even pick it up. But it's not your ability to make the shot. People have such myopic view of pool that they don't get it. It's not your ability to make the
Right.
shot. It's your ability to make the shot and play position at the same time. That's why we use the bridge. And people don't see the bridge in my hand, but it's because I play position, so I don't need the bridge. It's because I'm 6'1" and I don't need the bridge. It's because I play with my left hand when I need to, and I don't need the bridge. But most people need to pick up that bridge, and that's a good example why right there. But
Bam. Use the bridge.
pick up the bridge.
And then you don't gamer rage quit like me, like it's like I lost in Call of Duty.
This is an interesting layout. This is a tough one. I like that you're working these. Oh, you're on the solids. The strikes
Yeah.
would have been a very interesting run too, because you got 1 ball all the way down table. You got 2 of them below the 8. Everything is below the 8 here, which is always fun.
Yeah.
But this is
So-
and this will test your short game. These are the kind of shots that people will screw up because they're like, oh, I've got 4 short, little easy shots, and then they don't get in position on the 8 ball. Because you got to think about the 8 ball. So yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah, but I felt confident in it, right? Because I'm not scared of the side like that, but then boom,
Yeah,
Here
from
we
that
go
angle,
again.
you've got about 3/4 of a pocket. So that's what makes that tough.
So all right. How should I? So maybe a little more umph on it would have been good, or a little.
All right. So, like I always say, most runouts break down very early. This one broke down right here.
Real okay.
Yeah, you needed to have a much better angle on this shot so that you could bounce out, get off the rail, and possibly play the 8 in the same corner where the cue ball is right now, or maybe down tape, or somewhere other than here on the rail, having to shoot in the side. So, and as much as I love the side pockets because they're always close,
Yeah.
the corner might have been a better option on that one.
Understood.
But yeah, don't take the short game for granted. It's you got to be thinking position on every one of those and what's going to happen. What's going to happen at the end? That was little good nudges. All of these are short game type shots here. That was a good choice. Looks like a bridge shot. See how you're reaching here? One foot up, one foot. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that was worth the reach.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not too shabby.
You well, let's see what happens.
I know, right? Well, yeah, I'm speaking too soon.
Yeah, because that shot, that would have been a follow shot so that you have a back cut on that ball, and then you could get position a lot easier. So if you had a back cut on that last shot, so again, we're going back 2 shots to see the error, and that would have been a back cut that would have moved you out to the center of the table, and you would have been out.
So, so there we go. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I if I would have just maybe added some draw, that would have avoided that. But I saw this 6 here, and I thought I was fine.
Yeah, America's second favorite scratch shot is that.
Yeah. See, like I should have done the peace sign because it looks like it was in a way.
You know what would have happened if you did the peace sign? You would have scratched.
Yeah, I would have scratched regardless.
Because the peace sign,
I'm good.
The peace sign would have told you were going into the rail. You weren't, and but I understand the mistake that you made because it did look like that ball was blocked, like by the 6. It didn't look like
it was in a way. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So I deserve a little credit for thinking that way, but unfortunately not enough because I obviously just lost that game.
Yeah.
So you're saying, but all right. So this was
right here.
Is this a mistake here, or my position?
So you stop
this
because you know
shot
you
is
can get on the 13.
Right.
But what you want to do here is follow a couple inches. So if you follow a couple inches here, then you can make the 13 to keep off to the center of the table.
So I'm here. Yeah. All right, wait, hold on.
Right.
Hold on. So, all right, let's see how this plays out. Where I ended up, I think I ended up doing a straight shot, stop shot, right? Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you move forward and you give yourself almost a parallel shot, like I always talk about the 45 degrees.
Should have been here.
Yeah. You get there, then you just roll into 13. You get on the 8.
Bing, bing,
automatically.
Bing.
Right. No English or anything.
Instead, I ended up.
Yeah. So you had this sharp angle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I do look for those angles now, believe it or not. Yeah, look how deceptive that is.
A lot of people will scratch on this shot. No, I might have scratched on this because it looks like the 6 is blocking the pocket. It really does. So that one, that was weird. Yeah,
I got tricked. I got tricked by the table. The peace sign. I should have did the peace sign. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say if you did the peace sign, one thing would have changed. You would have looked stupid while you scratched.
People thought I was some dirty hippie, but
all you balls get along.
Yeah, right. I am not a crook, no, but this so this run right here. Well, let me see the next one because the next one I think is a little bit better, a little bit more interesting. Oh no! What I was gonna say was that shot that I had on the 8. That back cut. That was one of my winning 8. One of my winning shots was like a back cut on the 8 into the corner for the APA game.
Nice. Yeah, a little bit of draw would have kept you from scratching on that, but I can see why a lot of people might scratch on that shot, that 8-ball shot you had. It just looked like it went. All right, so let's see what
really like it was in a way. All right, so balling in.
Wow, fortunate to get on that 9 because I didn't see how that was going to happen. This is actually pretty good. I like the way you're working one end and then the other. The good news here is every ball, every strike looks like a decent key ball. When the 8 ball is close to the center of the table and it's not really being blocked by other balls,
Yeah.
you can use just about any ball as a key ball. So this is not bad to work that end and then work this end. That's kind of what you want to do. Getting on that ball
That
from
was
there
stupid.
was pretty tough. It might have been worth working that end of the table and then this end because these were tougher to get on. The other end was very
Again, I was trying to
hit.
get a shot on
Side
the
pocket
six,
shot
and I mean on the.
that's
I'm Michael
Look at
Jordan.
that!
Stop it. Get some help.
a lot of people aren't
Unbelievable.
crazy
All right,
on the side.
anything else? That's in? All right, so yeah, actually, let me take it back to that shot here. So, all right, so we're here. All right, so what do you think I should have done from here? Was this a mistake, or should I hit follow?
Well, it all goes back 3 shots, 4 shots. The way you work this end of the table, and I know why you did. If you had worked that end of the table, you could have used this last ball to get on that rail shot, use the rail shot to come down table to get on everything else, and then run out kind of the reverse. So you take that end, and then you take this end. And remember, you had a hanger, a relative hanger in the side pocket, and that would have been your transition ball to get you from one end of the table to the other. But getting on this shot,
and if I would have gotten it, it was like it bounced off the titty, and if I would have, look at that,
that's a tough shot. You've got a fraction of the pocket. It's like the other side pocket shot you had.
Get some help.
The other side pocket shot you had before. All right, let's look at one more. We got time for one more.
One more. All right, let me get to. Should I end with the good one?
Please.
All right, I'll end with the good one. All right, let me see. Actually, I think this one might be. I think this is the good one. All right.
Thinking about that 5?
I'm thinking about that 5.
Yeah, it might be worth shooting it, especially against a lot of the people that you're going to be playing. The reason is they're not running out. If you shoot that 5, and you're not running out if you don't shoot it. So it might be worth having taken that 5 to go down table. You do have a lot of balls that break it up. Like you broke it up there, but
total slop shot. Let's run that total luck shot out there.
But it would have been worth if the 5 goes down in the corner. You would have played it 2 shots ago. Now that's a classic case of missing a shot, trying to break up the cluster.
Yeah.
Look at how much pace you put on it. You're also mentally steering the ball towards the cluster because I know you're trying to break up the cluster. So you're steering the ball mentally towards breaking up the cluster. And because of the amount of pace you put on it, and of course the fact that you're steering it, that's what caused you to miss the shot. Where if you just let yourself shoot it 2 miles an hour, you come over. You only need to touch the cluster. You don't need to break them up. And it's probably, that's why I use the term nudge a lot of times versus break up the cluster. Because most of the time you do want to just nudge it. You don't want to break them up because then it's unpredictable.
Just get the ball at least, in shot. Get it, let it be able to see the pocket.
Can you go back 5 seconds? Because this is a recurring theme I'm seeing with your just a little bit more. Okay, hold it. So this shot, I say this is a recurring theme because one of the things that I see you doing, the better you get at position, the straighter you're getting on shots. You don't want to be straight. But this shot, if you just followed about 3 or 4 inches, so run it until I say stop. Stop. that's a better position where the diamond is than being.
Yeah.
Because now, if you have this shot with the cut, you bounce out and you get automatic position. And now you've got to work for your position.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't want to be this straight. Most of the time, you don't want to be this straight. This game is all about angles.
Angles.
Yeah. Good shot.
Thank you.
Okay. Be careful about backing up into your shot as opposed to stepping forward.
Well, I think I can just clear the table here just for shits and giggles.
There you go.
Now, yeah, all right. So let's see. Any final thoughts?
Yeah,
before
don't let your fundamentals break down because you have a series of easy shots, because they very easily can turn into a bad shot. You had those little short runs. You want to make sure you take your time on those and give them their proper attention. Okay. Just keep focusing on your fundamentals. You did a lot of things right, and one or two questionable decisions, but everybody's going to make them.
Yeah.
I remind people all the time in an 8-ball rack, and people don't understand why I say 8-ball is why the fact is that 8-ball is tougher than 9-ball. People think 9-ball is tough because they can't run 9 balls, and they make 3 or 4 balls in 8-ball. No, you're getting bought out. You're getting rescued in 8-ball when you run 4 balls and you can't play balls in rotation because you didn't want to get on that ball, but you have a shot. You didn't want to get on this one, but you have a shot. You didn't want to get on that one, but you have a shot.
Right.
So that's not better at the game. That's
it's more forgiving. The game is more forgiving.
Right, it's like a rich environment. But but I remind people all the time, and we talk about patterns and shooting the wrong ball first and stuff like that. 7 balls on the table, and for those of you math geeks, the formula is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That's over 5,000 right there. That's the number of possible combinations that you can run an 8-ball rack after the break. 5,000 different combinations. So picking the right one or the perfect one is a long shot. 9-ball, the odds are 9 times 1. That's the formula. You got one way to run them out. It takes a lot less thinking to do it in the right way. So yeah, one is chess, one is checkers. You do the math. Anyway, sir, good shooting, and yeah, a lot of those you were one shot away from just having a spectacular run out. So
yeah, I know.
And,
so close.
Yeah, I expect that you're going to win the tournament today. I'm putting all the money on you. So.
Let's go. Well,
right.
I'll definitely be filming it. So maybe we'll review some of those games next week, or at least clips from them.
Okay.
All right, boss. God bless.
Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
The week, and yeah, you got it. Take care.
Okay, be safe.
All right, be safe.